Hello, my name's Katie and welcome to my shed. I'm trying to work out if this video is going to come out before New Year or not. Maybe I need to look at the calendar before I say Happy New Year because it might not be there. Give me a sec. Happy New Year! I think this video is going to be coming out the weekend just after New Year. So Happy New Year. It's going to be no surprise to anybody that has watched me before. I am not one for celebrating New Year. I don't really celebrate anything. I think, oh, I'm just grumpy, aren't I? I'm happiest when I'm on my Todd with an early night and a can of Pepsi or hang out in here. So, but if you're a celebrator, Happy New Year. So, we are, can you see behind me? The bright colours, all the bright colours. I wanted to do something playful and I did this, I started with this one actually. This one didn't come out so well. And then I did this one as a little YouTube short. And I'm just playing with, my watercolour inks, but also with my, I want to say cheap. They are cheap. They're about £2 each. These are acrylics. And I wanted to play with them because they're quite translucent. So, I mean, they say they're opaque, but they're not very opaque at all. And was just pulling them around on bits of paper to see if I could get some of these sorts of almost like screen printed images, which I could. However, I don't know if you can see, but some of my tools, so I was using a combination of like glue sticks, this little palette knife thing. What else did I use? This, I don't actually know what this is for. And then I used some cardboard because all my tools have got like marks in them. Can you see here? Like lift some of it up, or they've got grooves in where it leaves like trails of paint. The best one was the cardboard. So the cardboard was the green and it's just a little bit smoother. So I think what I probably need to do is cut up some bits of card and use that. I have somewhere in the shed, I've got some old credit cards. They would work really well as well, providing they're not like bashed up and covered in bits of glue, which probably the ones that I've got are. But I bet in the house I've got some old credit cards that aren't, which would work really well for this. So I think I'm distracted. What were we saying? I think we were talking about what we're going to do this week. So yeah, I started doing these and I thought we would sort of push that a little bit further. And one of the workshops that I want to do this year is looking at sort of abstracted landscapes. And it's probably a bit of a risky one to do because I know it's not really everyone's cup of tea, but I like them. They're fun to do and you get to play with all the different types of materials and different techniques. And if you're focusing on having fun and just sort of like the process rather than the end outcome, you can then end up with some quite fun images. So I'm just going to have a little bit of play today and try and work through how I'm going to do the workshop. We haven't actually set the dates. I might need to follow that up actually. I started to book them before Christmas and then their booking page I couldn't make it work, so I emailed them, so I do need to follow them up. I will do that today. Right, so the plan is I've just popped some gesso on these little boards. They're just like coasters. You can pick them up in the hundreds. They are my husband's. He won't be watching this, so he won't know that I've got them. He uses them with his laser machine thing. I don't know what he does with them, but I saw them and thought, oh, they'd work quite well to go in these little frames that I bought back, it was back in about 6 months ago. I bought these from a charity shop for £1 each. They're just IKEA frames, but the board behind won't be, it'll be the cardboard board. What's the proper name for that? I won't be able to paint on it, so I do need to put something else on there. And I just thought actually these is a bit wet. will go in there nicely, and then we can use them to paint on to make some nice little paintings. Don't know what we'll do with them, but I feel like that would be quite fun. So yeah, I've popped 2 layers of clear gesso on those, and they're just a bit wet, so I need to leave those for a little bit. And then we're going to have some fun with paint and line. I don't know if I will use these colours again, these sort of neons that I've got, or if I might use colours that are a little bit less blinding on your retinas, or maybe a bit of both. So we need to work through that. What I need to do is find an image that I want to use for my inspiration. So I'm going to find my photo album. I have got photos on my phone, but it's quite hard to look at photos on your phone when I'm talking to you. So I've got an old little photo album with photos from years gone by, and I'm going to find something that I should show you what I'm looking at, but I don't actually know where these are from. Probably somewhere in Cornwall, maybe. Yeah, somewhere in Cornwall, because we've got Eden Project stuff there. And find something that floats my boat today. I feel like I want something with a bit of colour to it. A lot of these are very muted, these sort of seascapes I've got. That's not Cornwall, that is probably Suffolk. I think it might be Thorpeness or something like that. This one's lovely. You see that with all the reflection on there? So I think that's Thorpeness. This is the one I did, I don't know if you remember, a long time ago I did some abstract landscapes. That was the image I used for that. Right, you don't need to look at me rummaging through a photo album for some inspiration. Good morning, how are you keeping? It's Tuesday now and it's still chilly, but a little bit warmer than it has been. I think it's blue skies, might rain a little bit later, but it doesn't feel as cold as it had done, which is nice. So I've been at work the last couple of days, so I've got a day off today, but I've only actually got a little bit of time because we've got a play date coming, and we're gonna go out and do something fun because the kids are on holiday, and I don't really want, well, I do want to sit in here all day, but that's not the best parenting, is it? So I'm going to make a start on this, get the first layer of paint done on these little wooden plaques, and then see how it goes. So I've decided to do the image that you're going to see in now. There you go. And that was taken on the Gulf Coast in Florida, and I don't know, it just I think it's probably because we've just been booking holidays, and I saw that photo and thought, oh, that would probably make a good painting to be using some of these neons with fluorescents. I don't know what's the difference, but yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. And so we're going to get some underpainting done. Okay, so what I like to grid it up when I'm doing these sort of abstracted paintings. I do like to work in a grid. The reason I do that is because then I find if I just have one and do it 4 times, I'll end up with something really literal, and I don't want that. I want something that does feel abstracted. So I'm going to work on one piece, and then when you take it off, you'll have 4 separate images that could either go together in a group or could work individually. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I want to start the underpainting with some yellows, because that's kind of right in the background, and I've got 2 yellows that I'm going to use, which wouldn't, I mean, they probably don't go together in the typical sense, but I like them together. So I've got this one, which is fluorescent yellow, that's system 3, and this golden one, which is a Hansa yellow light. The reason I like this one on these wooden panels and just with abstracted stuff is because it's quite fluid. I can move it around nicely, and I'm probably going to loosen this one down as well with some fluid, so I'll go and grab some of that too. Right, I'm going to pop you on to time lapse and then we'll make a start. Before I start, I'll show you my amazing sketch workup. That's as loose as I'm going with it, just to kind of get the landmarks in the right place. And I'm also working, rather than having it the right way around, I'm working like I flipped it. Again, just to kind of keep it loose. This is fun, isn't it? I really like it. I mean, clearly it's not resembling the landscape just yet, but I think that's what I love about this kind of painting, is once you've got your basic idea of what you're trying to achieve, a very basic idea, and the colour set, it's then just about laying it down in patterns that you enjoy and layering colours. Like, I love the way that with this pink over the blue, you've got this purple here, and I think because they are quite thin paints, it allows you to do that a little bit more. And I'll build up in layers to the point where it then gets a bit thicker, and there's patches of transparency and patches of like heavy layers of paint. We've got some marks in here that I've put in. We'll put more layers in later and as we go. And they don't always, you know, represent what's in front of me, but it's my response to the image that I've seen, and also I guess partly my response to how I'm feeling on the day, because how I interpret an image will change day by day, won't it? So yes, I am quite pleased. I'm hoping I'll get back in later tonight, and we'll get another layer or two on here. But I don't feel that there's any need to massively rush it. We will, you know, just go with the flow. But it is obviously very, very bright at the moment. I might add to that. I really fancy adding some bright orange, but I might do that with a pastel or something a little bit later on, sort of as almost like a top layer. I don't know. We'll see. It's all about having fun and just playing with it. Right, okay, I will catch you all later. Have a lovely day. Bye. Good afternoon. Well, it's mostly dried. I mean, where I put the paint on thick, and because it's quite cold out today, some of the paint is a little bit tacky, so I'll just have to be sort of quite careful when I work over that. But what I'm going to do now is go over with some acrylic, maybe a bit of gouache, and just kind of build the layers up. Might go on with a few more muted colours, or maybe some darks, just to give me a bit of contrast. So let's do that. It's got a bit chillier as the morning's gone on randomly, so I'm gonna have to put the heater back on. Oh, did you see this? I did a little short with it, but I did some of that Lego printing, and I think it's really cute. So I'm gonna do a bit more of that, I think, at some point. It'll be something quite good to do with my daughter, so I'll probably have a go at doing that with her. Anyway, I got distracted. Let's get back on with this painting. I think I'm going to use these. I feel like I'm using them in everything at the moment. Maybe not, maybe not. But I just love this colour set, and I know I'm using them a lot. But I mean, if you like it, why not use it? So that's probably what I'm going to do next, to go over some of these and see what happens. Well, I've been having a great time. I mean, it looks a bit of a mess, but that's okay. We kind of go through the messy stage and then we'll pull it out, I'm sure. I just wanted a few more darks in. I think I've just gone in a little bit heavy with some of the marks, so I probably need to, well, I definitely need to let it dry, and then I need a bit of space. There's no breathing space in it at the moment. It all feels very so each section I feel like needs to have a little bit of space where you can rest because it looks just, I mean, it's like a 1980s t-shirt, isn't it, at the moment? So I'm going to let it dry and then have a think about where the calm passages are going to be in each section. So yeah, but I'm having lots of fun, so that's good. I think sometimes you just need to do something where you can let go and do what your hands and your brain want to do rather than thinking too much. Evening. The light's a bit weird in here because it's dark outside, but I've got 20 minutes to do a bit more of this. Half an hour, we'll see how we get on. Heater's on, apologies, but it's cold. Even colder than normal now, the sun's gone in. So let's have a look at where we're at with this. So what I want to do is get in, so I do need some darks. This blue is still quite mid. It's dark here, but I need to get a few more darks in. I don't know, it just feels like it needs a little bit of contrast still. And I want to put in those sort of quiet spaces. Pop you back onto time lapse so that I can put the heater on. I'm happy. I mean they're probably a little bit busier than I'd anticipated, but I like them. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just getting them dirty brushes. I'm going to take off the tape now because it's quite hard to see what they look like with it all on, because obviously it will look a little bit less messy, and then if I do want to carry on working I will then retape them up. But let's peel them off because this is obviously the best bit and we'll see what it looks like. Just turn them around the right way. I really like them. These two feel more landscape. These bottom ones, that one definitely feels landscapey, this one probably less so. These top two probably don't feel landscape. This one maybe like lake, and I don't know, that probably needs a bit of work, but actually as a set of images I'm very pleased. Sleep on it. They might be finished, they might not, but I'm just going to leave them be for now. I'm going to go to work tomorrow and then I'll come back on whatever day that will be. What day's New Year's? On New Year's Day, and we'll look at them again and we'll make a decision then as to whether or not we think they're finished. I don't know, this one here is making me really happy. Something about the colours. Right, have a good night, have a happy new year, and I will see you in a couple of days. Happy New Year! It's I don't even know what day it is. Thursday? It's New Year's Day, and I'm going to finish these paintings today. Oh, I've left the heater on. Give me a sec. There we go. Turn the heater off. It's going back on. It's freezing, literally freezing. We haven't had many frosty days this last year, and we've started on a frosty one, which is good. We need some frost, don't we, to kill everything off. But yeah, it's a bit nippy in here. So I'm going to pop the heater back on. And I'm going to finish these two. This one and the other one I've already taped. The other two I'm happy with. So we'll go back and look at those in a minute. But these two just need a little something else to make them actually look like a landscape, because at the moment they're just random shapes and colours. I've put them, I put them in the, what's the word, the aspect that I feel represents a landscape more than the other. So this one we're going this way up. I need to do something to work out this one. This way up. Just can't work out what I need to do. I don't know. I like these. This feels fieldy, like field and lakes, and so this bit's working. And I thought I'd put this blue in to give like a sense of sky with the heavy clouds over the top. It's just not quite there, is it? And then this one, I think it might need to be flipped again. Okay, I think they're done. This one needs to be flipped, but we're going to take the tape off and then we're going to see. Okay, this one's definitely better. Much happier with that one. And then this one, I feel like needs to go that. No, it doesn't. It does not need to go that way. Well, that's odd. I thought like it needed to go that way, but I need to look at it from a distance. I think it's the square in the middle, and I do like it. I like that it adds a different dimension to it, but it's not working. It's too rigid for a landscape, so I'm going to have to get rid of that. I've used nearly every brush I own, so I'm going to have to find a couple of brushes. We'll work out how we're going to sort this out. There we go. That's better. It's going to go that way up. Probably my least favourite out of all of them, but I think once it's settled and I've had a chance to live with it, and can we fit it all in on the screen? Nearly. There you go. What do you think? These two are quite similar, aren't they? I wonder if that might be better that way around. I don't know. Yeah, they feel much more like a set now than they did. So I'm happy. I'm going to mix these up though. Feel like they work better like that. I might grab some mounts and decide whether we're going to frame them up or not. How cool does that look? Love it. Right, let me check the other ones. Isn't it weird how your style changes, or you do something that you do something differently and then you create something that you unexpectedly really like. Can't remember what way up it went. It's that way. It doesn't really matter, does it? You can go whichever way you like. That's the way. Hello again. This is a little sneaky surprise that you weren't expecting. I somehow didn't record the outro yesterday, so I started editing it this morning and realised there was no outro, so I thought I'd better come in after work and come and say hi and sign off. I am super pleased with how these look. They're a little bit far away, but I'm sure you get the gist, and you will have seen on the clips, but they've come out really well. I think they look really nice framed, and I feel like they could work as a set but also work as individuals, and that was what I was aiming for. So it's always a relief and a surprise when something finishes, and I'm super chuffed with it. Little mini paintings, but I really enjoyed doing it. I'm definitely going to do some more with some different landscapes as inspiration. Obviously that hasn't ended up as a very clear resemblance of that sunset, but I know that that's what I've taken and developed and where we've come to with it. So anyway, let me know what you think. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please consider just pressing the thumbs up button and pressing the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, because I think I've worked out that only about 61% of you that watch are subscribers, so it'd be great if you could subscribe. I'll try not to spam you with too many videos, can't promise that. And so yeah, if you could do that, that would be amazing. And also what I really want to do is get a bit more engagement in the chats, so if you could leave me a little comment and maybe give me some ideas for other landscapes that you'd like me to see abstract, or have you done abstracting yourself and how did it go? I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and not all of my paintings are going to be like this, but I think it's quite nice every now and again to do something a little bit less literal and a bit more instinctive. So with that being said, I am going to get inside. It's cold, I've had a long day at work, and I want to have some tea. So I will see you soon. Bye.